Good afternoon, Facebook and YouTube. We are live today. Um, we missed a few people, but that's all right. We're going to be discussing something very serious for me, and I'm sure for the rest of the guys, about love. What is it to us? What does it look like for women that's trying to love us? And a couple of questions along the way. So y'all get ready for this. Uh, Call somebody, let them know that we own what we're talking about. And I need y'all to chime in. Send me some messages. Let me know how y'all feeling about what we're saying. Uh, I am not. I don't have a problem if I'm getting it wrong. Somebody set me straight. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. So nobody's here with me today but Mr. George, but we're gonna run it. Uh, then we're gonna do that thing. So let me say it quick, very, real quick, and we're gonna get started.
Mhm.
Father God, in your holy name, we pray. We thank you for watching over us today, Lord, and letting us get out in this beautiful sunshine today, Lord. I hope everybody got a chance to do so. We also ask you, Lord, that you cover our words, Lord, and make sure that the things that we say reach somebody, help somebody, set
Yes.
somebody, make somebody think differently, Lord, and put them on the right path, Lord. And just pray and thank you for your holy word. In the name of Jesus, we pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
All right, hold on. We got one more joining us here. Blue.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well,
Right.
appreciate y'all joining us. Let's get into this.
All right.
All right, love. Now, interesting conversation I had with my wife the other day. Because I made the comment that I think men love differently than women do.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know if I'm right or wrong. Now, what I meant when I said by um, men loving differently than women, I just tend to believe that to men, I think that when we actually in love with somebody, that we love them hard, and if we get hurt, then we get a little broken, and it's hard to us to trust a woman again. Where I believe women can kind of get past it sometimes, not all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they can move on if they had the wrong man and then they got with the right man, then they'll leave all this stuff behind most times and go hit on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told I was wrong on that. So y'all tell me what y'all think about love. What is it? What is love to me?
You know, love is an action word, and for most of us, man, um, it's about what we do. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. You know,
Okay.
uh, we're the covering, we're the provider. So, in our mind, you got this house, you got that car out there. Look at all this stuff that I'm doing or have done for you. You know what I'm saying? Those are a lot of the action words that we as men do that we were expected to do. Now that's just foundational. Of course, we we'll go a little bit above and beyond doing other little things or romantic things, but the main thing, in my personal opinion, is action, man. It's about what we do to provide to make that lifestyle comfortable.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Blue, what you got to say about that?
Um, Love, the difference between love. I think for as far as men go, I think what is love? I think the love itself is genuine on both sides, but I think that where like Brian, when you were saying that men love differently, I think it's more so for a man, just being honest, pride. Pride gets
Mm-hmm.
in the way when it comes to a man really showing his deepest feelings, whether um even if he hasn't been hurt by the person or not, it's hard for a man to just really let go as fast as a woman do. But I think as far as love itself. What is love? I think love itself is the same, but men have a more difficult time letting go because of pride.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it like this, okay, when you go into a relationship, man or woman, whether you want to or not, you bring in baggage. If you're not been in a relationship before, to where it not got real serious between you and a woman, and it didn't work out for whatever reason, when you go into your next relationship, whatever good or bad happened in that relationship, whether you want to admit to it or not, even subconsciously, you bringing that baggage with you. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
in this new relationship and you're trying to nurture the relationship, a lot of times we as men let pride, especially if we've been hurt in relationships before, we as men let pride get in the way of us truly trusting and letting go to give the person that we with a chance to love us wholeheartedly. But as far
Mm-hmm.
as love itself, I feel like love for a man or a woman is really no different. We just we as men, I feel that we let pride get in the way a lot of times. And you think about some relationships that have failed. It have failed because a man couldn't swallow his pride.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. You know,
Yeah.
and maybe that's what I mean. I really can put into words what I was trying to say when I was saying that men love differently. Uh, but
Well,
I mean, I
it's
guess,
right. It's right because
Our
because look,
love language
Brian,
is
when you say
different.
it differently, when you say
yeah,
love differently, it's not
yeah,
that really we love differently. It's just that a man have a more difficult time of letting go and let love show up.
Mm-hmm.
He might
okay,
be in love with the woman, but a man is so much more protective of his feelings
Right.
than sometimes I think, just like the more delicate flower is, because a woman will show her emotions, um, maybe in some relationships faster than a man will because she's the more delicate flower. But a man is more protective of his feelings in the sense of, I think a lot of time we just let pride get in the way to where
Mm-hmm.
we won't let go as fast as a woman will.
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay. I can
Right.
agree to that. I can agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can definitely agree to that. I just was, you know, wondering, uh, there's just a question to pose to you all about, what did it look like really for men to be, you know, to be in love, and my the core of what I was saying was, you got two different people that's looking at the same situation two different ways, far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And and George, you said something a second ago about the love language.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is a thing that I truly believe that if you don't get to know your partner, you ain't gonna never get that. What I'm saying, that love
Right.
language, because you know, yeah, that and knowing somebody's love language will really help you get further in your relationship, get deeper into it. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So answer this question for me. How
Love,
did you
you
know?
said love language.
Yeah,
Right.
your love language. Cause okay, like we took a little test one time, right? Let me hold
Hmm.
off on that right quick. Hold on. We took a little test, right? Um, and basically what the test was about, your spouses or even your kids, because the kids did it too. They love language. Like mine was affirmation. I like to be told that I'm doing a good job. When you
Mm-hmm.
do that, when I'm being assured that what I'm doing is the right thing, it makes me want to do more. It makes me want to go all out and do things.
Yeah.
Make sure that I'm still making you happy and I got you.
Right.
My wife's was acts of service. You know what I'm saying? So basically, clean up the house. cook dinner,
Mm-hmm.
wash the car, wash, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do acts of service.
Mhm.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that was her thing. When you doing that kind of stuff, she was down with you. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? They actually thought mine was gonna be gift because I'm a little spoiled. When I ask for something or want something, I just I'm gonna get it at some point. So so
Mhm.
but everybody
Right,
was
right.
surprised when they looked at mine like because that was one of the things was some people like gifts.
Yeah.
That's their love language, gifts. Some people like being touched. That's their love language. So
Right. Right.
it all kind of depends, on what triggers that person. Now, of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you dating somebody, that's something you're supposed to be getting to know.
Right.
What's they love language? What do I do that you know really make that person happy, and what are the things I do that they don't really respond to?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I think it's important for everybody to you don't have to take a test to do it. Just pay attention and learn
Mm-hmm.
your spouse's love language.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
So
I'm a lot like you, Brian. That affirmation, man, that's kind of strong.
yeah.
That's kind of strong. It's funny how your wife can badger you and tell you, "Hey, honey, I need you to take that trash out," and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it."
Hmm.
And then when you finally get a chance to do it, she's like, "Ooh, you so strong. I like the way you look, the way you carry that trash out. Make your chest, you stick your
Mhm.
chest out a little bit. Next time you try to carry 2 bags. See, baby, I got this. I got this. That information thing, man, it's strong.
My wife's biggest thing is don't let me tell you to do it, just do it.
Right, right,
Hey,
right. I
if you
think,
if you get that down pat, she cool.
yeah. I think also
Yep.
when you start thinking about like you said, love language. When you think about it, love in itself is just you surrendering to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
taking the time to, and then a lot of things, like my wife, sometimes it's one of those things to where they don't want to tell you, they want you to just look at their body language or pay attention to how they
Hmm.
respond to something you're doing and just pick
Mm-hmm.
up on if they like it or not. And and I just feel like, just love is just you surrendering to your spouse, to your partner, and trying to figure out, along with them telling you, trying to figure out what it is that you do or that you can do that will make them feel more in love with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. Um, what you were saying about trying to figure out what they want. Now sometimes that is a very difficult thing to do. Um, it's happened to me on several times. I'm a little thick headed, so I'm gonna put that on me. I'm gonna put it on me.
Mm,
Ain't gonna put it on her. Sometimes I just miss the sign. What I'm saying? I mean, I'm on
right,
the freeway and I'm going and exit right there, but I ain't see it. I went shot on pad that one. So, and that's
right,
a little upsetting for her. I'm sure. Not knowing when
right.
to get off the freeway and pay attention. You know.
That's a learning process, though.
Oh yeah,
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 that's just a learning process.
yeah.
But
Well,
it's one
we.
of those things to where you got to think about it. It's a difference in young love and mature love.
Right.
Young love is
Okay.
like, okay, I guess in the sense of young love, you got to put also in there with that young love, you got to put lust, because guess what? You're doing a lot of things to cater to that woman because you trying to get to the cookie jar. Just being
Mm-hmm.
honest about it. But when you done
Hmm.
got past to where you instead of trying to take the lid off that cookie jar, then now it becomes of things to where you got to do things to where now you're trying to learn that person, and you got to have patience, because now it ain't so much of um want physical attributes from the person because of you doing things. It just want acknowledgement. So you have to learn
Yeah.
the difference. As you get older, your love got to mature to where you got more patience.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right. Right. You're absolutely right about that. Then go ahead, G.
not only do you have more patience when you're at that mature stage and you're in that marriage, if both of you guys are on the same page and you realize, listen, we're working to become that one person. We're two individuals striving in our marriage to become one. That's something you have to work on each and every day. And at that point, you have to be comfortable enough to be transparent and completely open with your communication with your spouse as to what you need, what you don't need, what you like, what you don't like. Because as we mature and as we get older, it changes.
Yeah,
It changes.
exactly.
So it's a daily thing, and as long as both of us on the same track as far as knowing that we're working to become one, it'll work.
Yeah, I agree. We were picking at Kobe last night about as a 25-year-old, some of the things that he said he think make a good spouse, and it was a little funny because we all old enough to know ain't none of that gonna work, homie. I mean that, but at 25, that's where your mind at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understood that completely, and I mean I don't fault him for it. He had some good attributes that he was looking for. It just
right.
you know if you
But see,
planning
you
for the
got to look at it
long
like
haul, go
you
ahead.
got to look at it from his point of view. Like the things that he was saying that he looked for are really things that he has no control over in the relationship. Or
Mm.
like say for instance, he may not know how to cook. So that might be really something that's
Okay.
high up on the
Yeah.
ladder for him as to being able to cook. You know what I mean? So
I
a lot of
I
times,
actually didn't. I didn't
go ahead.
think about that. Oh, I was just saying I didn't think about that. You
Now,
absolutely right.
for those who wasn't with us last night, why don't you go ahead
Yeah.
and explain to them what his answer was, what he was looking for, so that they'll understand what we're talking about.
If I'm not mistaken, it was she had looked pretty good.
That was it. That
Um,
was one.
she had know how
Uh-huh.
to cook.
That was two,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh,
that was one
she,
more.
she actually with two more. She had to be good in bed
That was it.
and
Hmm.
ambitious. That's what it was.
Yeah,
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 he said ambitious. So,
right.
which I
Right.
mean, hey, at 25, I'm sure I was looking way worse. I was looking for way worse than that. So,
Right. Right.
I don't even
Right.
I wouldn't have never thrown ambition into it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, not at 25, not
Right.
me. So, but
Right.
it was just, I guess we was all laughing about it because we was just
Right.
like, okay, that
Well,
that's
Right.
just a 25-year-old. That's a
Right.
25-year-old answer. You know
that
what
that
I'm saying?
was like
So,
No,
us.
that's a mature 25-year-old answer
well, okay,
because
yeah,
Yeah,
you're right,
yeah.
you're right.
a lot of us wouldn't have put like, okay, ambition. Okay. When we was 25, we wasn't looking for women that were ambitious. As long as she had nice shape, treated you fine, she can
Mhm.
learn how to cook over time. But
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to be
yeah,
25 years old for him to be 25 years old and put ambition in there
yeah,
is
yeah,
really
That's
a
right.
big thing when you think about it because um, you don't want to be in a relationship and you always got to be in the driver's seat.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not
For
all the
for you got
time.
to drive the relationship for you and you got to drive the relationship for her. You
Oh,
want it to be to where she got to drive in her to where
mm-hmm.
she got a steering wheel she holding and she driving to and you got one you holding and you driving to and y'all
Absolutely,
going in the same direction because
Right.
absolutely,
after time if only one of you got to drive eventually you're gonna get tired
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it's gonna go from like sharing to feel like you dragging somebody. You know
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, divorce rate ain't what it is for no reason, man. A lot of people
Oh man.
get married and get involved with one another, and they don't truly understand what their roles are in these marriages by no point of the imagination. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't really know what your role is as a man, and if she don't really know her role as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
that's unless y'all learn it somewhere down the line, which
Right.
it can happen. Y'all can learn to love each other and work your way through that stuff. But it really helps if you know what you're supposed to be doing. If you
It
got
sure
a
does.
at
Right.
least got a clue of what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
But
I
I would say
mean,
this
like I said,
about go
go
ahead.
ahead. Now I was just gonna say that when I first got married, I didn't have an inkling. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
had no clue
Right.
what my role should have been. You know, what I supposed to been
Mm-hmm.
doing as a husband and a father. So you know, like you said, I give him a lot of kudos for even adding ambition in it because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have
Right.
that wouldn't even been nowhere near close to my mind.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
for me, when my son is old enough, I just want to make sure that he understands that when it comes down to that, to love, that, work on you first. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is work on being what you expect. Whatever it is you expect that
Yeah.
young lady to have and be able to come up with, you make
Hmm.
sure you got it first. So if
Right.
you want her to
Right.
have good credit, you better have it.
Oh yes, sir.
You want her to be situated financially, you need to be situated financially. You know,
Hmm.
if you want her to be in shape or attractive, whatever the case may be, you need to be able to provide that for her as well.
I
Be
agree.
what you expect, and when you have your ducks in a row, and you know where you're going in life, at that point, look for somebody that's going in a similar
In
direction.
the same direction. Right.
There you go, that you're
Mm-hmm.
compatible with, so that you can walk together.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
I
good.
agree with that. And then
Very good
one of those
advice.
things too, guys. You think about like what is love? Okay, you think about marriages, or young marriages, or old marriages that didn't work out, and because of for whatever reason, one did the other person wrong or did something some kind of way, step outside the marriage, whatever may have
Mm-hmm.
you. But then that's when you can test the foundation of love in the relationship. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, I'm just gonna ask you this question. Just think about all the people that you know that done got the divorce, and
Hmm.
just think about if what had happened in their relationship didn't get didn't go public. Do you think they could have worked it out? Because most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, a lot of marriages end because of pride of the person that got hurt and feeling like,
Hmm.
okay, I can't stay in this relationship because really what they should be saying, I can't stay in this relationship because everybody know.
Yep. Somebody put that on
See,
there just a
but you
second
just think,
ago about pride,
what's
pride,
that?
pride before this, like Proverbs 16:18, pride before destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, so,
yeah. A
so
lot of
yeah, you
time
absolutely
marriages
right.
marriages could have been saved. They could be
Mm-hmm.
saved if you keep people out of the relationship. But a lot of time
Yeah.
Absolutely.
marriages end because you not let too many people find out what was going on. Even though you might still truly love the person, but because everybody know what the person did to you, your pride won't let you stay in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely correct. It happens all the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of situations probably could be worked out. You know, once everybody calm down and get a level head,
Mm-hmm.
usually, you know, common sense will
Hmm.
prevail. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you would really think about, you know, especially if you've been in a relationship for years, you know, and something happening and it's just between y'all two. You know, that's why they always say don't let everybody in your business. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right,
But if
Right.
it's just
right,
just between y'all two, then you can probably make a decision whether or not what happened was it bad enough for you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Was it bad enough for you to go? Can you still work this out? Because I mean, if you truly in love with somebody, you just can't fall out of love with them.
Right.
They can
Right.
Right,
make you mad. They can make you very very angry
Mm-hmm.
to the
right,
point where you know you just gotta walk away.
Yeah.
But
right,
you know, and it might be something that cuts very deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But do you love this person enough to work through it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know a lot of people be like, man, if he did that to me, I'm gone, you know, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
that crap come in when you know when you let too many people in your business.
Right.
You know, it might be all right to
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
confidant, but hey, you
yeah.
know,
But
Bird,
and
that's why
one,
you have to have that. Go ahead.
go ahead, George.
I was just saying that's why you have to have that understanding in the very beginning of the relationship when you know that you're headed to a marriage.
yeah,
You need to have that understanding that look, listen, I'm not jumping in this with a backup plan to get out of this months from now or years from now.
hmm
So once I say I do, I did. Okay. So
right,
when and I told my wife this. I mean, because I've been blessed, man. My parents are still together, and I had an opportunity to watch them, and I learned early that when they would have a disagreement, They didn't take it outside the house. And my sister and I, we knew to keep our mouth shut and stay out their business because it was their business.
Right.
But they had an understanding that, that we're committed to this relationship. And there may be some days where I don't really like you, but that don't change the fact that I'm still in love with you. It's a difference. I can not like you, but I'm just in love. I love you. I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And as long as you have an understanding that we're going to talk through this thing, and if it means that we have to stay up late because we ain't gonna go to bed, with a disagreement and mad, that we're gonna sleep in the same bed. When you have two people that have that understanding and that foundation, and they go into marriage agreeing on that, it's a lot easier when you have that disagreement and you can walk away, cool off, clear your head, go back, and still be transparent, because this is not a competition. You're on the same team.
Right.
Am I making sense to you?
Yes,
so
sir.
If you're on the same team, you ought to be able to share your innermost feelings without worrying about your pride, because the two of you are becoming one. Am I making sense?
Oh yeah, yes, sir.
That's just my opinion.
I always say it, man. Once you become one, I mean, you truly need to become one. You know what I'm saying? We working on this thing together. So
Absolutely.
I ain't going. I already told my wife I ain't going nowhere. So,
and you know what? I need to say. I want to put a disclaimer. I want to put a disclaimer on that becoming one thing, because I had this conversation with somebody else once, and it was about when you truly in love with your spouse, like you're supposed to be, there's some things that you just can't do. Okay? Meaning, I don't care how angry you get. And my wife will tell you, I have never called her out of her name. She's never been no B. She's never been nothing else, because she's my wife. So even in anger, if I call you something like that, I'm talking about me, because I chose you. We won. So if I'm calling you a B, I'm calling me a B. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I know it may sound funny, but real talk, when you truly working on becoming one, and that's your spouse, that's part of you. There's some things that you can't even say to her or call her even in anger, because you're too close for that. At least that's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree, man. You can't hit below the belt, no way. You know what I'm saying? That never brings anything good. I guarantee you might be all right that day, but it's gonna come back up.
You better know it.
Oh, it's coming back, bro. You can believe that. It's coming back.
You better believe it.
You'll be forgot about it. Be like, what? When I say it, what?
Right.
No, sir.
They don't forget nothing.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Go ahead, Blue.
And it's one of the things to where, in relationships, everybody love for their spouses are different, because we're all individuals. And it's like, you can be talking to somebody. The worst thing you can do is talk to somebody about the person that you're in love with that have wronged you, because the person that you're talking with don't love the person the way you do.
No.
So they may not necessarily be the one that you might need to be trying to get advice from, because guess what? They didn't grow up in your shoes, and they're not walking in your relationship, or they might not even be at the point in their life to where they in that type of relationship of love with their spouse.
Right.
So where you got to understand that, when you start talking about, the different thing that goes on in a relationship or in a marriage where one is hurting the other one, and love is involved, there is a difference between when you getting advice from somebody. Sometimes the best advice is the one that you can just go to God and get for yourself.
Right. There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, well, my little brother just joined us. What's up, Curtis? How you doing?
Hey, Curtis.
What's going on, Kurt?
Hey, how's it going? I don't know if y'all can hear me or not.
Yeah, we hear you good.
We got you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at work today. I just seen you sent me the link, so sorry if I came in a little too late. I'm not sure when you sent it to me. Like I said, I'm working right now, so
you good, man. You good. Well, since we got you, let me ask you a question. What is love to you?
okay. Love. I'm gonna tell you what a wise man told me, and the reason why I call him a wise man because he was my grandfather's brother. His name was
Okay.
Alton Jones. Called him Uncle Beachy, and he used to tell me all the time, love is something that cannot be explained.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one word in the Bible that doesn't need any definition. So what does love mean to me? It means a whole lot, depending on the situation and involving people or the people that may be involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
The love you have for your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your family members is going to be completely different from that of the love you have for, let's say, one of your comrades, one of your homeboys, your partners, or just a female friend or something of that nature. As well, this is going to be different dealing with somebody that you're intimate with. Even if you're not really completely intimate with them, but you have intimate feelings or emotions about that person. So somebody that you might have been married to or dating in a relationship with, the love that you have there for them is going to be different than that of your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. So that's a very complex question, unfortunately. And I know I just gave a very complex answer. You know, that's a biggie there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, I want to make sure that I say this though, that we also got to make sure we say that uh don't you can't confuse love, emotion, attraction, lust. There's a whole lot of them that people substitute for actual love. And like he said, love is it's a feeling that you really can't explain, but you
mhm.
know it when you feel it. Which is one of the questions that I had. How do you know when you fell in love? How did you know when you was in love? What actually happened to make you say I'm in love with this person?
That's a good question. Um, and I'm not really sure if I can put that into words, but I'm going to try. Um, my wife and I dated, and um, I used to tell her. Well, I told her after we got married, and we were reflecting on the way we got together. I said, when I met you, I was in lust with you. All right. I said, but being married to you, I'm in love with you. I had a chance to really get to know you.
Mhm.
Um, Physically, she had the attributes that caught my attention and kept my attention.
Mhm.
Um, but I realized I needed some more substance because over the years, that physical thing would change.
Yes,
And
sir.
as I got to know her and know how she think and understand her personality, we were able to have conversations, long conversations, and it held my attention. Um, and when it got to the point that she was constantly on my mind all the time, I realized that this woman really, she got me. She got me. Um, and when I realized that it was reciprocal, and she was as much on the hook as I was. So it's not like I had more skin in the game than she did. It seemed like we was kind of even about each other. Um, Same way I would do things for her, she would do things for me. You know,
Mhm.
um, and we had a clear understanding as to what we wanted out of life, and we realized that what we wanted was very compatible, and it just fit. I don't know how to say it other than it just really fit like a glove. Um, we were happy together. When we was apart, we was trying to figure out how quickly can we get back together. And when you're able to share your spouse or your future spouse with your family, and your chest is out, at that point you realize that's the one. When you're ready to share her with your family, at that point, that's the one.
All right, good one, good one, good one. What you say, Ella?
Um, I feel like once you're at a point to where the feeling that you have for this person, nothing else matter. No
Mm-hmm.
other nobody outside of that person's actions really matter to you other than that person. You know, one of those things that where you willing to look silly or stupid just because of how you feel about the person. Now you
Yeah.
feel silly or stupid because guess what? You just stepped out of pride and stepped into love.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
Yep.
I always say that, well, when you think about that other person more than you think about yourself.
Yeah.
When that other person's reaction to what you do, or that other person's response to what you do matters more than how you, like, just like you said, how you look to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty a clear cut indication that you in love
Yeah.
with somebody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It don't take a whole lot of genius. A lot of people like, I ain't never been in love before. You probably was, you just didn't want to recognize it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a dude I used to work with, man. He said, man, I ain't never told no girl I love her. Like, man, that's sad. That's a sad thing, bro. I'm telling you, that's sad, man.
Yeah.
I say,
Really,
so you never experienced love before, and his answer was, I ain't never felt strong enough about anybody that I felt like I was in love with him. I was like, man, I'm sorry. I wish you
right.
the best.
Yeah.
It's one of
Man,
those things to where when you think about it, when you get to that point to where you're in love with someone, it's a scary feeling because guess what? You done got in a situation now to where you really don't have any control over.
There you go.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the scary part about it. And I think
Yeah.
that's what drive most men crazy. That
Yeah,
the men like to be in control. It's I think it's
We
a
do.
natural
right.
thing. I mean, some would say I'm a little bit controlling, or at least I want to be in control, which I'm pretty well aware that I ain't got no control over here. So, my wife and my daughter run this ship. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
that's
go ahead.
one of them things that we like to be in control. We like to be in, we supposed to be the head. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to lead. So to put yourself in a situation of, or be out in a situation where um you exposing your emotions, your pure self to somebody, your best self,
Yeah.
but your pure self to somebody,
Yeah.
and you trusting them with this, and knowing fully well that you can get cut really, really deep. I think
Yeah.
is what drive me into that point of, I'm gonna be a player till I die. But truthfully, you really want to be in a commit. Well, I don't. Some people don't like commitment, but you really want to be. Everybody want to feel love. I don't think nobody want to walk through life and never be in love with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I wonder, and like I said, I think about that dude a lot, man. That that was his response to it. I ain't never felt strong enough about anybody to think that I was in love. That's what he said. I'm like,
Well,
wow.
You're
it's
missing
one of
out on
those
something.
things. Yeah, it's one of those things to where, just like I said, because we go back to our younger years. When you guys start to feel a certain type of way towards someone, and you weren't ready to go to that level with that person yet,
Mhm.
you would come up with all kind of firewalls to block yourself from letting yourself feel that way about that
Yeah,
person. You would just
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
find something physically, or you just find something silly about that
Mm-hmm.
person to not like them, to just break it off, because love
yeah.
is something to where when you're at that point to where you're in love with someone, you no longer have control, and that's
Right.
a
Right,
scary
right.
feeling.
Right.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to go to that point because you're no longer in control of your feelings about that person, because it now
Mm-hmm.
went from y'all just in a relationship to where you're in love with them.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's that was a good. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. What you say about that, man? How
Uh,
have you been in love, and when did you know?
uh, man, I think I was infatuated, and I don't know if I was really in love, but I kind of still have the same infatuation right now with this one particular person. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So she she uh she in England somewhere anyway now. So that's Tina Turner. So just in case y'all wondering who it is, it's Tina Turner. So, uh, but I think I've been in love before. At least I believe I've been in love. And the reason why I say I believe I've been in love, I got married at the age of 22. She was an older woman. Me and her still close. We still communicate to this day, even though we divorced, but we got a good relationship. And I only dated her about 4 or 5 months before we got married, but I really felt strong about her than any other female that I ever interacted with. Growing up, I was I'm my father's son. Let's just put it like that. I'm my father's son. So I had multiple interaction with lots of different females and never felt the same thing about any female that I have for her. So as far as to the point, like I said, I married her. Even as going and taking care and providing for her, paying all the bills. You know, she's staying at home working, and I'm not like no, you know, at the time at the age of 22, I wasn't no six-figure man. You know, had millions in the bank, but I made sure I provide for her and her kids the best that I could. You know, sacrificing all that I had to make sure that she was happy. So I think, and in a lot of cases, like one of your partners just said, I think that was your cousin. I don't want to call him the wrong name, but you know, you kind of lose control of your emotions whenever you really fall in love. Uh, Not saying you're gullible, but sometimes you do a lot of things that you feel are the right things to do as a man when you're involved in a relationship and you're really in love with someone. Uh, some people think it's stupid, some people think it's crazy, but when you really have those strong connections with somebody, you do things that are out of the norm for yourself. So, like I said, other than Tina Turner, it would be my ex-wife. Uh, and like I said, I know, you know, I'm still infatuated with Tina. And if I ever get a chance to go to Europe, y'all better watch out. I'm going to be a stalker. I'm going to look for
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is, man. Tina Turner just always Tina Turner. You know, look, I ain't trying to change the subject. Everybody else got their infatuation too. I don't care if it's Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, or whoever. Mine has always been Tina Turner. So
Mine used to be Janet Jackson. I ain't gonna lie. That used to
so
be
that's
mine
who I
all day
think I
long.
actually first. Yeah, I think that was my first love. But we're gonna go with somebody else. We'll go with the ex. So I did more for her. I did just about as much for my son's mother as I have for my dead wife.
You breaking up, bro. You can't hear me. You breaking up, bro. All right, we're gonna have to come back to him. He done got it. Hello, we missed all of that. You broke up on us.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Mhm.
I said that's road life. I'm working, so I'm on
Yeah.
Cutting in and out. I apologize for the interruption in the show. So
No, it's all right. You good, man. You good. I asked you to come on. We good. But I understand exactly what you're saying, man. Everybody had that one that you know, that we was infatuated with. Like I said, it used to be Janet Jackson for me, but
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, used to
Hey,
be. Used to be. Yeah.
I would like to say this before you go too deep. Don't forget you married now, so don't be calling out too many people's names now.
She already know.
All right. You know,
She already know.
be like, yeah, it was Janet Jackson and even Marcel or somebody else. Don't get in trouble now.
Yeah, she already know. I know if Janet Jackson came around me, I probably get stabbed. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, y'all. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But before we go, as always, I didn't write it out, but the toolbox. I raised it by mistake, but the toolbox. I think the first one was a relationship with God. The second was learning how to deal with the stages of forgiveness. And the third one was being able to take responsibility for yourself and the things that you do. Fourth was love. That's how we end up on love. Okay. That fourth one is love. So we're going to keep the fourth one in the toolbox. And we won't do a fifth one today. We'll do that on the next show. Because this was actually, we kind of did two last Saturday because we missed a week. So with that being said, y'all, I thank y'all for your comment, brother-in-law. I appreciate it, man. And anybody else, I know other people go back and watch this stuff during the week. So even after, even though the show is not live, still leave your comments. I would like to hear them. I would like to hear what y'all got to say. We about to hit to the after show on YouTube. So if you got YouTube, come on over. Men Club Podcast YouTube channel. And we'll be on in probably about 5. And we're going to, little bro, appreciate it, man. Thank you for popping in, man, when you got the chance. We're going to be looking out, man. We're going to be inviting
no problem.
you.
I appreciate it.
Be careful out there, Curtis.
Yeah, be careful, man. Be careful. All right, y'all. We're going to go.
All right.
Bros, y'all hold tight for a little bit. And we out.
Peace.
Y'all be blessed.
You too, bro.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.